Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this episode. I am starting out a cut. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I've kind of talked about it. Wait, hold up. Sorry, back up. I am a little bit burnt, so please ignore that. Pretend it's not there. Okay, I feel like it's worse in this lighting. This ring light really just like illuminates the burn, but we're just gonna hide that with some hair. Perfect. Okay, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, kellynicolefit, I suggest going to follow me. But today, or actually yesterday, I started a cut. So basically, if you are not familiar with what a cut means, it just means that you want to lose body fat and you want to lean down a little bit. So today I'm going to bring you guys through my top 5 tips if you are new to cutting, you've never done it before, and things that you should watch out for to make sure that is done properly. Tip number 1 is to not start out with cardio. So this is what a lot of people do when they try to lose body fat, is they will go and do an extreme amount of cardio right away because they just want to get that body fat percentage off. They want it off, they want to get it off, so they just go all out. Now at first, probably you're going to lose a decent amount of body fat because, I mean, you are doing more activity than you were before. But what happens with our bodies is our metabolism will adapt. When we're losing body fat, our metabolism naturally slows down because it doesn't want you to lose the body fat. It looks at body fat as something it actually kind of likes because it's stored energy that your body can use in times of need. So when it notices that you're eating less than you were before or that you're burning more than you were before, your metabolism will naturally slow down to make sure that you kind of are at an equal level so you're not losing too much body fat. If you already started going all out with cardio right away, what happens when you plateau? You don't have much else to do, right? You can't really do too much more cardio if you're already doing an hour a day, or you can't do too much more cardio if you're already doing 45 minutes a day. So you don't want to go all crazy and wild right in the beginning. I honestly suggest not even starting with cardio, or maybe doing like 20 minutes 2 times a week and then slowly increasing it as you hit plateaus. But again, you don't want to start all out with 100% cardio right away because you're going to hit a plateau and it's going to be really, really hard for you to get past that plateau. Tip number 2, make sure that you are eating enough fiber, but not too much fiber. So this happens to a lot of people when they are eating naturally cleaner foods or trying to have lower calorie foods. They're gonna have a lot more fruits and vegetables than they typically do in their diet. And maybe they'll also just have more whole grains than they're used to as well because they're just trying to be a little bit more conscious. There's nothing wrong with fruits and vegetables, there's nothing wrong with whole grains, but one thing that can happen if you're not cautious is you could be going really far over your fiber, especially with breads that are supposed to be like lighter breads or lighter wraps or anything like that. They tend to have a lot more fiber as well. So you really want to make sure that you're eating just around enough fiber. What is that? For women, it's around 25, men slightly more. What will happen if you have too much fiber? It won't make you not lose body fat, but it will make you bloated, and that's uncomfortable, it's not fun, and a lot of times people can't recognize the difference between bloat and body fat. So you really want to make sure you have your fiber in check so you're not bloated throughout the process. Again, around 25 for women. Don't go too far under and don't go too far over. If you are going over, just figure out ways that you can cut back on your fiber throughout the day. Tip number 3, do not drop your calories super low. Now what a lot of people do, just like we were talking about with the cardio, is they'll go super low in their calories right away. Now what does this do? Again, the same thing with the cardio. Your metabolism will recognize that you're not eating nearly as much as you used to, and it will slow down and become damaged, which means 1, it's going to be a lot harder for you to lose body fat, and 2, it's going to be hard for you to get past plateaus when you're already barely eating. You want to be able to lose body fat on as high amount of calories as possible. So for me, I'm starting my deficit out at 2,300 calories. I'm eating that consistently throughout the week and I'm going to lose body fat. But you want to start out as high as possible so when you hit plateaus, you have somewhere to go. Also, starting out higher is better for muscle maintenance because if you're only eating 1,200 calories, you probably aren't maintaining much of your muscle. Tip number 4 is to lift as heavily as you were before. Now, a lot of people, when they go into a deficit, will kind of switch gears and go more towards higher rep, lower weight exercises. But this is not what you want to do. You really want to focus on pushing heavy weight, really pushing your body, pushing your limits, and still pushing that weight that maybe that you were before if you can, if not a little bit lighter. And here's why. Your body will literally burn whatever it wants when you're in a deficit. If you're not using muscle mass that is just kind of chilling on your body will use that for energy because it just needs energy. It's in an energy deficit. That's what a calorie deficit means. Calorie is just a unit of energy, so it literally just means you're in an energy deficit. So when your body does not have enough energy, it is going to use what's on your body as has energy. So yes, a lot of times it's body fat, but again, if there's extra muscle mass that you are not using, that you are not putting to use, your body will use that for energy, which we obviously don't want. So you really want to make sure that you are still pushing your body. If you can, hitting PRs, if you can, at least, lifting as heavily as you were before. If not, just a little bit under, but again, do not do the high rep, low weight exercises. You still want to be lifting as heavily as you were before. Tip number 5 is track your progress in progress pictures. A lot of people will get super overwhelmed with the scale, and if it's not going down, they think that they're not losing weight, they think that they're not progressing, they think that it's not working. This is why progress pictures are so important, and it's so important too to check back on them. Look back at where you were 3-4 weeks ago. Look back at where you were maybe 6-8 weeks ago. Sometimes the scale does not go down because of hormones. Sometimes it doesn't go down because of lack of sleep, maybe lack of water. Maybe it has something to do with your bloating and your digestion. The scale is just overall your entire body's weight. It doesn't measure your body fat percentage. So pictures will help you kind of give an idea of whether or not you are leaning down, whether or not you're losing weight, even though the scale might not be showing that. Also, you can use measurements. So using a measuring tape, you can measure your hips, you can measure your waist, you can measure really any part of your body and keep track of these measurements, so you can also see the progression that way. These two are great tools that you can use to really track your progress. However, I don't suggest that you stay away from the scale. I do think it is an amazing tool. It's amazing for you to see the progress, for you to see the changes in your body, but I don't want you to base your worth, base your progress solely on the scale. It is just a tool. So use these other tools, progress pictures and measuring your waist and your hips, to make sure that you are progressing even if the scale is not showing it. So there you guys have it. Those are my top 5 tips for people who are new to cutting, or honestly, even if you've cut before and you just kind of need some tips to make sure that this time goes a little bit more smoothly. Those are my tips for you. You guys, I have a ton of videos on YouTube about cutting, different things that I've gone through, and I'm going to take you through this cut as well to give you guys some advice, give you guys some tips, and hopefully help you on your own journey. So make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss out on this journey. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram at kellynicolefit. Like this video and comment down below if you found this helpful.